All right. Well, hello and welcome to the Writing Clinic. Thank you so much for being here for me, for the group, and most of all for yourself. My name is Latasha L.T. Jimerson. My clients call me Coach L.T. I am an author, teacher, book coach, and motivational speaker. My favorite thing to do is to help people write and help people communicate better through writing so they have the confidence to tell their story. So I'm going to ask that you go ahead and mute yourself, and I want you to type in the chat where you are chiming in from. All right, welcome, welcome. Okay, so we got DC area, and I'm chiming in from Philadelphia, and we got Nicole from Detroit. Welcome, welcome. All right, so let's talk about our emojis. So whenever you hear something that you want to celebrate, just clap your hands, or you can use the birthday hat. Go ahead and practice now. I want to see if you can find the birthday hat. That's for celebration. We're going to have a discussion at the end. There we go. There's a lot of birthday hats. I love it. Okay, so that's for celebration. Give a thumbs up when it's something that applies to you that you agree with. Give a thumbs up. See if you can find the thumbs up. Okay, got it. All right, and let's go back real quick. Put a heart up. If somebody says something that you just love, just put a heart up. At the end, we're gonna take a picture with the hearts up. Okay, awesome. Okay, so let's get rolling. Okay, so here's the agenda for tonight. What is a clinic? I'm going to talk about what it is and how I started doing this for people and what led to it. We're going to talk about success habits. So if you have a success habit that you are already doing, awesome. If there are success habits here that you're not doing, I want you to write them down. Okay. We're going to do some brain dumping. I'm going to give you some writing prompts, and then we're going to have a discussion at the very end. Okay. All right. As people come in, they will just get caught up. Welcome, Mia. Welcome, Nicole. You guys will just start where we are, and we haven't started anything heavy. So you got in here at the right time. Okay. So what is a clinic? So the inspiration for this clinic is it's like a sports clinic, but it's for people who love to write. So my kids did sports forever. There are three girls, but they all loved everything from football to basketball to whatever sport they did it. And so we were always participating in clinics. And so what I did was I took the idea of a sports clinic and I applied it to the people who were in my community, which are authors, speakers, coaches, and people who have a message, and people who love to write, but we don't always make time to write. Put a 1 in the chat if you do like to write, but you really don't have time to write. Put a 1 in the chat. All right. So this is the very first writing clinic class of March 2024. I started this in March and I put out a post on Facebook and I asked how many people love to write, but you don't have time. Lots of people raised their hand and I said, okay, so you like to write, but you don't have time. If I created a space for you where you could come in and write with other people, Would you be interested? And again, I got people to raise their hand and they're like, yep, 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 I would come in. I said, okay, I'm going to make it free this year, but I don't know what I'm going to do with it next year. So come in free, bring a friend, have fun, be open-minded. We're going to do some writing. Okay. So these people showed up. Okay. They showed up and they showed out. All right. Again, you're going to work out. I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to push you. Your hand's going to be tired, but it's okay. You'll make it. Okay. So here is the first success habit. If you are a healthy eater, I want you to write down healthy eater, put a star next to it because you're doing well, right? If you're eating vegetables, you're eating fruits, you're drinking water, then just put, yep, I'm a healthy eater and put a star next to it. You're doing really well in that area, okay? All right. If you exercise every day, maybe 5 days a week, maybe 3 days a week, then just write down exercise and put a star next to it. Now, if you're not exercising every day, then what I want you to do is write the word exercise and circle it because you're going to start making that a priority for your life. Okay. Are you drinking enough water? If you are, then just put water, put a star next to it or check it off. Yep, I'm doing great. Okay. I'm drinking water. If not, then you need to circle that or highlight it because that's something you need to start doing. Okay. Are you writing down your feelings every day? If you are, then just write down, I'm journaling about my feelings and put a check mark next to it because you're doing this and it's something that's going to help you in your life. Okay. Very good. This is different because this is a planner. So how are you doing with planning? Are you planning your days? Are you planning your weeks? Do you know what's happening for the month of August? It's a new month. Do you know what you're doing? Are you traveling? Do you have clients? Do you have anniversaries, birthdays, celebrations, right? So if you know your schedule and you're good at planning, then just write down planner, check mark, star. I'm already doing that. Awesome. If you are not planning your life, then I want you to put planner and I want you to circle it because that's something for you to work on. Okay. It's already Q3. So if you haven't hit your health goals, your fitness goals, if you haven't hit your financial goals, then it requires that you do some more planning. Okay. Because if you fail to plan, you plan to fail by default. Okay. I'll say that again. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail by default. Okay. You need to be planning out your life. And that's the only way you're going to be able to manifest the things that you want is if you create a plan. Okay. All right. Are you meditating? Are you sitting for 5 minutes every day? Closing your eyes, getting away from the phone, getting away from the computer, going outside and smelling the fresh air. Are you doing that? If you're not, I want you to circle meditation. You have to make that a priority. Okay. All right. Now, stretching. Stretching is just as important as cardio. If you stretch and do yoga 3 days a week, that's just as good as going out and doing a brisk walk. Okay. So if you only have 10 minutes, you're traveling, you're in a hotel, get a towel and just sit down and stretch for 10 minutes. And you will notice you'll have a much better flow of oxygen through your body. Your brain will function better. Your writing will get better. Okay. So establish a routine for stretching and doing yoga. Okay. Are you reading? What was the last book that you read? Write down the title and the author. For me, I read Think and Grow Rich every year, and I listen to it on audio about once a month. So I just started listening to Think and Grow Rich again at the beginning of this week, and I'm already halfway done because it's only a couple of hours. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill is one of the classics for personal development. And it is that way because if there's a success formula, right? You may have heard someone say success leaves clues. That is true. Literally. Every single time I read Think and Grow Rich and I set a financial goal, I hit it. And that's because I follow the formula. So if you've never read Think and Grow Rich, this is not a commercial for Think and Grow Rich, but you need to read something that's going to inspire you to hit your goals. Okay. All right. Are you listening to podcasts? Write down on your piece of paper, what are your favorite podcasts that you're listening to? Okay. Whatever you're listening to is feeding your mind. Okay. You're eating the food, you're drinking the water, that's feeding your body. But whatever's in your ear, that's feeding your mind. Okay. All right. So we're getting ready to do a brain dump. It's going to be 10 minutes. I'm going to put 10 minutes on the clock. What I want you to write about in this brain dump is describe a major challenge you have been dealing with in your life recently. This is the prompt. You might want to take a picture of it or you can write it down. Okay. So describe a major challenge that you've been dealing with in your life recently. I'm going to give you 10 minutes to answer this question. So I want you to write at least 2 pages. Like the more, the better. I want you to describe all of it. The frustrations, the irritations, all of it. Okay. If you have a question about the prompt, type it in the chat because I'm going to turn off my camera. I'm going to close my audio because I want you to be in the zone and I want you to focus for 10 minutes. Don't start yet. I'm going to start the timer. We all start at the same time and we write until the time is all gone. Okay. So here we go. I'm going to set the timer for 10 minutes. Reset it. 10 minutes. Okay. On your mark, get set, go. Start writing. Okay, so welcome back, everybody. This is the journaling part. We've already done our brain dump. We did 2 prompts. Now I'm going to have people share out their experience with writing or anything inside of the prompt. So you guys can share your fear that you overcame. You can share your childhood role model. What mindset did you adopt from them? You can share just how do you feel about writing in this space with other people? How do you feel about the time? Is it pressure or is it helpful? You can share anything you want to share. The people that are listening to this on my podcast will be able to hear you and see you if you come on camera. Raise your hand if you would like to share. You don't have to share. It's not mandatory because these are your own thoughts. But it does help when you share with other people because you start to see commonalities. And so one of the things that human beings look for is connection. And so when there's someone who's been through something similar as you feel an instant connection with that person. And so I'm going to close out my microphone so you don't have to hear me talking anymore. And raise your hand if you would like to share. You could either raise your hand with the little thing at the bottom, or you could just raise your hand like this. It looks like Ashley wants to share. Is that true or no?
Yeah, I was trying to write.
Uh-oh.
Sorry,
Somebody.
my niece is in the back. I was wanting to share. Yes, I was wanting to share. Sorry, I just got distracted. My niece is in the background. She just stuck to my hip. She don't want to leave me right now.
That's okay. You can share. Just talk loud and we'll listen to her in the back. That's okay.
Okay. Um, um, who was your childhood role model? I want to say I was in the midst of writing. I was getting stuck on how I should write out the prompt, and I think that took time away from me actually getting to the point of like who was my um, role model or how did I adopt their mindset. I will say that. I said my family moved a lot when I was younger, but we got settled in my early teenage years. I'm not sure if I can necessarily pinpoint that she was a role model, but in my teenage years I wanted to be a supermodel like Tyra Banks. I was completely enamored with America's Next Top Model growing up. I literally wanted to be a carbon copy of her. Um, in my teenage years, when I thought of Tyra, I thought of a beautiful black woman who was smart and a go getter. That's all I could get to at that point. Sorry.
Thank you. Your niece
You're
wants
welcome.
to share as well. So next time we'll let her just prepare for her to share, okay?
Okay. Okay. Thanks.
I can see you as because you're so tall. You're what,
Yeah.
5'10"? You're 5'10"?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I can see you just running down, walking down the runway, just
Yes.
posing. Yes. Tyra Banks, that was my show too. Yes.
Yes. My favorite show growing up.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that. That's
Okay.
cool.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I think Kyoko wants to share something.
I'll share. So this time I wrote about my aunt, my mom's sister. I was the flower girl in her wedding, and she was my role model since I was a little girl. Um, she had my cousin, her daughter, when she was 40, and then she decided to go back to school to get her master's in music education, which now I realize how amazing that was. And then she got a job as a kindergarten teacher and a first grade teacher. And she exhibited such patience and caring with children and with her coworkers. And that really made an influence on me. And it made me want to be like her. I think the reason I became a teacher was because of her. I wanted to do what she was doing, and she inspired me to become a teacher. And I wanted to teach kindergarten just like her once upon a time, but not anymore. Um, because I wanted to sing and play just with kids, just like her. So she was the role model that inspired me to become a teacher, and she taught me patience and to take each moment and one day at a time.
Hey, thank you for that. I love that.
No
Woo!
problem.
So amazing how teachers just inspire people that we just pour into people. We don't even know how much that's going to ripple into other people's lives. Because look at that. She influenced you, then you started teaching, and now you're influencing other people. And you're going to have kids come back. Well, you've already had that.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
the,
yeah.
talk
So
about
many
that.
times.
Talk
So
about
many times.
the guy that brought his daughter to your book signing. Share that.
Oh, my first book
cool.
launch for my book was at the local library, and it was mostly women and children and some people that I knew. And there was one gentleman with his young daughter, and I thought, oh, that's nice. The guy came and he brought his young kid, and I did a reading of my books, my children's books, and then I had a signing. And he came up to me and said, I don't know if you remember me, but I was a student in your very first class. And I looked up at his face and I thought, oh my gosh, I do kind of remember him. And it made me feel very old because at that point it was 20 years ago when I had him as a student. And he said to me, do you remember my name? Like all the children, whatever, 20 years times 36, 1,000 kids. I said, is it here? Colin. There was a kid named Colin that year. And he's like, you're close. And then I remembered his sister was Cameron, and he's like, I'm Cody. And I was like, oh, and everybody around was so amazed that I had remembered him, but I really hadn't. And what I hadn't remembered is that he said to me, I remember asking you, what are we going to do in a 4-5 combo? Because I was hired to teach a 4-5 combo. And I said to him, I don't know, but we're going to figure it out together. I have no recollection at all of saying this to this child, but it stuck with him so deeply. He remembered it and he repeated it back to me and showed up to my book signing. So, yeah, crazy.
Thank you for sharing that. I love that. It's like everything's full circle, right? Like you get kindness from someone, you give kindness, and then it just comes right back around. That's beautiful. I love it. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Mia or Nicole or Daniel, do you want to share? You don't have to. Any thoughts before we go on to our next
I
writing?
feel like I should kind of share after, I don't know how to pronounce her name. I don't want to mispronounce it, but
Kyoko.
Kyoko, thank you. I feel like I want to share now after she said that because my childhood, can you all hear me okay? I've been having audio issues.
You're loud. You're
Okay.
loud, girl.
Oh, should I turn it down?
No,
Oh,
I
okay.
love loud.
So I wrote Mrs. Denton. She was my role model. I said, man, I love that lady. She was my first example of a successful, independent Black woman, and I wanted to be just like her. She was smart, funny, kind, no nonsense, and she loved English just like I did. And I became an English teacher just like her. I hope she knew how much she inspired me and so many other students. Yeah.
Okay, I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you for sharing. It's so amazing how when someone else shares something, see, this is what I was talking about. People crave human connection. Even though we're on Zoom, if someone says something, it triggers a thought. And then you're like, oh, wait a minute, we're like the same.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We don't look the same, we don't sound the same, but we have similar experiences in life, and that's what connects us right away. So thank you for sharing that, Mia.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks.
Nicole, I think this is your first writing clinic, is it?
Hi, yes, it is.
Welcome. What do you think so far? We're about halfway through. What do you think?
Pretty good. Very interesting. The prompts are very interesting as well. I didn't know I was gonna have to talk about myself so much, so it put me in a different space I probably wasn't ready for, but I'm enjoying it so far.
Awesome. Okay, we're gonna keep rolling and go straight into the next prompt. This is very introspective. I'm asking you to go inside of yourself, which is something that we don't often do. But if you had the privilege of having a really good English teacher like I did when I was in 7th grade, she gave us prompts every day. And we had to sit, and she put the oven timer. You remember the oven timer? She put it on the whiteboard, and it was magnetic, and it stuck there, and it had 10 minutes, and we could all see how much time was left. And it was so stressful in the beginning because we weren't used to that. From kindergarten all the way up to 7th grade, nobody did that. 7th grade was my breakout year because she was like, oh no, you're gonna write. And I would sit there and waste like 8 minutes. And then the last 2 minutes, I try to write something. And she called me out every time. And then she would make me go up in the front of the class and read what I wrote. And I was like, no. But that set me up for success as a teacher. And even as a history teacher, I had my students practice that. And by the end of the year, they were prolific writers, and they were amazing at coming up. They would volunteer to come up because I created a safe space where they could come up, share, make mistakes and get feedback, but walk away from the experience feeling like refreshed and empowered, right? So that's what this is for. And we're going to keep rolling on to the next prompt. Make sure that you are honest. Do not filter yourself. Do not overthink. You're going to get 3 minutes. Woo! What's the next 5 years look like for you? What does the next 5 years look like for you? Okay, you get 3 minutes to talk about what the next 5 years looks like for you. Okay, you get 3 minutes. Okay, we're gonna start right now. Go. Okay, you have 45 seconds. Keep writing. Okay, you have 10 seconds. Keep going. Okay, we have time for 2 people to share. What does the next 5 years look like for you? Welcome, Dame. You just missed a couple of writing prompts, but that's okay. You can still catch up on the next writing prompt. So right now you'll just listen to the responses. What does the next 5 years look like for you? 2 brave souls. All right, Daniel. All right, and then Kyoko. Awesome.
Okay, can you hear me? Can you hear me or not?
I can hear you a little bit.
I'll come.
Yeah, just get closer to the, wherever the microphone is.
Much. Okay, is that better? Okay, the next 5 years look like for me. Okay, national and international singing, growing my coaching business to multiple six-figure years, singing at every major event, podcasting and sharing my life story, writing my book about overcoming the impossible, marriage, international travel, owning a house where I can practice my voice, teaching voice lessons, influencing communicators, being on major stages, sharing how I help people. 5 years.
Thank you for sharing. I love that. For those of you that are watching this or listening to this on the podcast, you need to go follow Daniel because he's already famous. Okay, he's already famous. So keep your eyes on him because as the next few years come, he's going to be more famous. So remember that you shared the space with him. He's awesome and amazing. Yes, yes, yes. You're already famous. Okay. Thank you for sharing that. This is a question that is like near and dear to my heart because when you start saying this stuff out loud and you keep writing about it and you just keep thinking about it, pretty soon 5 years is going to go by anyway. So you will notice that, oh shoot, I have the house I want. Oh shoot, I have the business that I want. I have the body that I want. Like, what? But you go back and you look at your journal and you're like, oh, I wrote this down. I manifested this. But you have to really be serious about it and be focused. You can't just write it down willy-nilly and then never look at it again, never think about it. You really have to be intentional and you have to allow your mind and your imagination to just go wild. And then you have to put in the work and start moving in the direction of your dream. And then it happens. It's not like, oh, you just write it and say it and it poof. There is no poof genie in the bottle. Like you're the genie in the bottle. You have to literally do the work. Okay. All right. So Kyoko.
All right, are you ready? So this is for you. In the next 5 years, I'm meeting my soulmate if I haven't already met him. And I am moving into administration and educational leadership to run or help run a small elementary school. Here's the big one. I am buying a house and I am moving into a house with at least 3 bedrooms. I want a kitchen with a bar and maybe an island with stainless steel sinks. I want a patio and a garden with laminate flooring, and I want an exercise room. And so it has like, it's a room with laminate flooring, and I want like glass windows that looks out onto the garden so you can exercise with mirrors on one side. And I want to get a cat, maybe a dog. And I think I will publish at least one more book. We'll see. It's not the most lucrative business for me, but it's fun and I like to write. So I would like to try to write one more book. I think I have one more memoir in me. We'll see.
And in that memoir, you will talk about how you manifested your soulmate.
Yes, I will. Or not, but you know.
I love it, love it, love it.
There's that story.
Thank you for sharing. I love it. Okay, I think we have 2 more prompts. So if you haven't shared yet, I want you to think about what you're going to share on the next prompts, okay? All right, let's see. 2 more. The next one is, oh, no, Oh, okay. I know what we do now. This is going to be really fun. Okay. So we're done with the prompts. Now we're going to shift gears. Okay. So now we're going to do some letter writing. Okay. So we're going to actually write 2 letters. I'm going to give you 3 minutes per letter. Okay. So the first letter is going to be to the U at 18 years old. Okay. So it's going to be Dear 18-year-old Ashley. Dear 18-year-old Nicole, 18-year-old Mia, 18-year-old Kyoko, 18-year-old Daniel. Dami, you're super young. So Dami, you can write to the 5-year-old Dami because you're young. The lessons that you've learned, what that person needs to be prepared for, the struggles, like how to overcome the struggles. Give them advice. So give yourself advice when you were 18 to get yourself prepared for life. So think about your accomplishments, think about your mistakes, think about your fears, think about your challenges, and give yourself advice on how to push through. Okay. All right. So this is a letter. So it's Dear 18-year-old self. Put the date, put the time. There's a specific reason why I want you to put the date and the time. Okay. And this is a full-blown letter. So let's get, I'm going to give you 3 minutes. So 3 minutes. All right, go ahead and start now. Okay, you have 1 minute. Okay, you have 30 seconds. All right. So for the people that are watching at home and listening to this on the podcast, please time yourselves and actually do the writing activities at home. Even though you're not with us in this space, do the work. When people say do the work, do the inner work, this is what we're talking about. Do the inner work, do the introspective thinking. Sit, give yourself time to relax and breathe with your water, right? Do this in the morning, do it at night, but do the writing every day. This is the work. When people talk about healing, this is the part of your healing that you have not been doing. This is powerful. This is impactful. And you're going to notice as you're sleeping tonight, you should sleep better. When you wake up tomorrow, you should be in a great mood. You know why? Because we did a brain dump. We dumped all of that trash out, and now we're putting in really good stuff. Okay. So this is your last writing activity for the evening, and then we're going to share. You are now going to write a letter, and I'm only going to give you 2 minutes. So you're really going to have to use your brain and stretch. Okay. 2 minutes, and this is going to be Dear Coach LT. So this is a letter to me. This is going to be 10 years in the future. So write down the date, August 1st, 2034. It's going to be 10 years in the future. And you're going to tell me all the stuff that I missed. Okay, so let's just pretend we lose touch for 10 years and then all of a sudden we come back and you're going to be like, oh my gosh, you're not going to believe what you missed. And these are all good things, all of the amazing things that you accomplished. I want to be able to feel it. I want to hear it. I want to touch it, taste it. I want your language to be that deep to where I'm with you. I'm sitting with you wherever you are, on your patio, on the train, or wherever you're at. I want to be there experiencing the stuff that you've experienced. Okay, so this is a letter to me, 10 years in the future, telling me what I missed. Okay, so you only get 2 minutes. So this is going to really stretch you. Okay, all right, so let me put up the timer. Okay, on your mark, get set, go. You have 30 seconds, push, wrap it up. Okay, you have 7 seconds. Keep going. Okay, put your pencil down, and I would love to hear you share. Read your letter. You can either read the letter to yourself, that was the 18-year-old self, or you can read the letter to Coach LT. I really want to hear the letter to Coach LT. That's going to be real good. That's going to be juicy. Look at Ashley. She's like, yeah, mine is juicy. Let me know if you want to share. Open up your microphone if you want to share. We're not going to go in order. It's just whoever volunteers could just start talking.
I'm going to be honest with you, Coach. I only got to write one thing down.
That's okay.
You have
your niece is back there.
Yes. I was trying not to get distracted, but I think I'm just long-winded with writing my stuff and not really getting to what I need to write down.
Mm-hmm. Which one did you answer? The 18-year-old self or the one to me 10 years from now?
Yeah, I did both of them. I wrote more on the 18-year-old self.
So read that one. Share that one.
Okay.
Or just bits and pieces if you don't want to share the whole thing.
Okay. I said, hey, beautiful. I don't have much time, but I want to give you some advice as you progress in life. Know that you are beautiful and are worthy to have whatever it is you want in this life. Believe in yourself. Affirm yourself daily. Know that everything that you need is inside of you. Educate yourself outside of school on how to navigate this world. Never put anyone before you, and make sure your needs are met before you serve others. Speak up and say no when necessary. That's all I got.
Yes.
Wow, I love it. That's powerful.
Yes.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Thank you for that. That's
You're
cool,
welcome.
Ashley.
Yes.
So now whenever you write your book, those are some things that you can write in the book. Some of your quotes, you can quote yourself.
Yes.
Okay. Those are some of the things that you can pour into other people, because these are lessons that you've been through in life. And so life has qualified you to talk about this. Okay. You don't have to be a Harvard professor or have a PhD to write a book about your life.
Yeah.
Okay. So thank you for that. Throw some hearts up for Ashley.
Thanks.
Wow. She's calling herself beautiful. I love that. Who else is going to share the letter? I want to hear the letter that y'all wrote to me. I want to hear it. It's too deep. I love it. Okay. Nobody wants to share that. That's cool. So the last thing, oh, Daniel, you're going to share?
Sure.
Yay.
The 18-year-old self. Dear 18-year-old Dan, life is not going to be easy. Singing is not going to be easy. Figuring out your voice is going to be a challenge, but through the challenge, you are going to be experiencing travel, improving your stagecraft, singing on major stages and on TV. Embrace the opportunities of perhaps a military career, turn to God, Be patient with your voice. Put in the time and effort and dedication to figuring it out. Don't stay with one teacher too long. Move on if it's not a good fit. Take risks, but learn earlier how to make, keep, and invest money.
Thank you for sharing that. That was awesome. Daniel is an international professional speaker and singer. And he's a coach, and he teaches people how to discover their true, authentic voice. So whether you're a singer, he's like a vocal coach for singers or speakers. He had a master class this week, and I attended, and he did laser focused coaching, and I was in the hot seat, and he was helping me improve my craft as a speaker. Because that's the next chapter of my life now as a professional speaker. I've done the teaching, I've done the mentoring, I've done the authoring and coaching, and now I'm going to be a professional speaker. And so I was like, I got to take this class and let him put me on blast. And he did. Thank you for that. Awesome. Okay, who's next? Dolores?
I like to go.
Nicole. All right.
Okay, mine is quick. So, dear 18-year-old Nicole, I want to tell you, and I know you may not believe it, but you are enough. You don't need to look for validation. Everything you will need is right in front of you. You just have to believe it. Prepare yourself for what's to come. You will be in charge of a lot of young minds. Take it seriously. Don't get caught up in materialism. You won't need any of it because you by yourself are enough. You will have some amazing people come into your life. Hold them tight and appreciate them. Your persistence will always win. Don't give up.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that. Wow. That was awesome, Nicole. I love that. You will meet some amazing people. Hold on to them. That's cool. Love it. Dolores, you came in late, Dolores, but did you get a chance to write something?
I did not get a chance to write anything, but I had a few thoughts in my head of things that I wanted to write down, but I'm kind of it's been a long day. Let's just put it that way. But I wanted to chime in to just learn and hear what was going on in the group today. I was listening to some of the other speakers, and they gave some very inspiring advice. And it sounds like they've learned a lot about themselves, which is great. And I hope others can hear that as well, to give them some inspiration to take some of those things into stride, and it would help them to move forward as well. Especially, you are enough. Believe it. And once you believe it, other people will believe it also. And you will have some amazing people to come into your life. So I just wanted to share that. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's take a photo since everybody has hearts up. This is the end of all of the segments. So you survived the writing. And so now we're gonna transition into talking. If you have something that you just want to share on your heart, you can just share it. Remember, this is going to be on my podcast, so people will be listening to this after today, and they will be wondering about you and wanting to connect with you and see what you're up to. So if you want to do a little bit of self-promotion, this is the time for it. Nicole and Mia, do you want to come on camera so we can take a photo of everybody? All right. Yes. Beautiful. In the light. All right, so we'll take one just like this. Okay, so you're ready. 1, 2, 3. All right, and then we'll take another one with the hearts up. Put your hearts up. And the hearts don't stay very long, so we're probably gonna have to click it twice. Okay, yeah, okay, there we go. Whoops. Okay. Awesome. Okay, so now we're gonna talk about what's going on in your world. I have some announcements for you guys. In the community, raise your hand if you're a part of my community, your first book club or your next book club on Facebook. Okay, so I've been posting a few things to plant some seeds. So it's August 1st. I have a lot of things happening in August. One of the big things that's coming up is on this Sunday, I have my challenge. Publish your book in 5-day challenge. Starts on a Sunday. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I want you to get your mind wrapped around what's going to happen for the week. So we're starting on Sunday. It's going to go Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So it's 5 days. Okay. We will start with, okay, this is what we need to do for our book. We need to figure out what's our topic. Okay. Because some of us have these topics that are too big. And so we have to narrow them down. So I'm going to be teaching you how to use AI tools to narrow down your topic, because most of the time it's too big. Okay. So we're going to use AI. We're also going to use some of the worksheets that I've created that are in my online courses so that you can get really, really focused on who your audience is. Your topic goes with your audience. Okay, your topic goes with your audience. That's what you always have to think about. Who's in your audience? Okay, really good example is Kyoko. She hates when I highlight her because she's so modest and humble, but we worked together for a full year. It was amazing. And the first manuscript that she wrote, it came out completely different in the end. We didn't know. It was like a little roller coaster ride. We just rolled with it. And so we talked about the topic. It was going to be different. And then we narrowed it down. And then we didn't even use AI tools then because I didn't know all the tips and tricks that I know now. I know I wasn't as evolved. So we just kind of stumbled through it together. It was fun. Based on her target audience, she created her own book cover. Okay, so that is her book cover that she created. Okay, and then Emily, who's my editor and graphics person, she uploaded it to Amazon and she helped Kyoko create all that beautifulness. And so when you think about your topic, I want you to think about your cover. And your cover needs to go with your topic and it needs to draw people in. Okay. So Kyoko's book is about teaching. Every teacher knows what that means with those pencils on the floor. We know that. So it's not even a question about what that book's going to be about. Okay. So when people look at your book cover and they see your title, it should say exactly what you're going to deliver, and you need to deliver to people what they paid for. So we're going to go through on day one. What is your topic? It's too big. Why is it too big? Let's narrow it down. Okay. Day 2, and Ashley's already done this, so she's going to do this challenge again. Day 2, I know we're going to write down a brainstorm. We're going to do a list of 50. So it's going to be a lot of writing. And we're going to narrow everything down so that you can create an outline. I have an outline that I've been using for myself and for my clients for the past 7 years now. And it keeps getting better because I keep making it more structured. And if you follow the outline, your book will flow. If you don't follow the outline, it'll be a hot mess. Okay. I have books that I wrote without an outline, and I look at the books that I wrote with an outline, it's night and day. Okay. So we're going to do the outline. Day 3, we're literally going to start writing the book. So day 3, once you figured out your topic, you figured out your audience, you're ready to write. So day 3 is all about writing. Okay. Day 4, you're going to come into class and get some critique. I'm going to critique you. Your classmates are going to give you feedback. Okay. And then day 5, we're going to do what I call click, click, boom. And we're going to go ahead and publish it onto your own personal site. It's not going to be on Amazon. It's not going to be on Barnes and Noble. It's going to be on your own personal site as a digital product. So this is not a paperback book. This is a ebook, and it's very short and sweet and to the point, and it's going to attract your ideal readers. Or if you're a coach, it's going to attract your ideal clients. Or if you're a speaker, it's going to attract your ideal audience. Okay, whatever it is that you do, this book is going to be designed to attract the right people. Okay, so starts on Sunday, August the 4th, and it goes through Thursday. Now, the people who are like, you know what, I want to get the whole experience, plus I want to get a session with you, LT, where you just put your eyes on my book. So general, you guys are coming in complimentary because you're here. Okay. So that you know, so you can tell your friends. General admission is $47. That's, they come in, they watch the training, it's an hour, they go home. Okay. VIP is $97. And that's if you want to come in for the training and stay for the Q&A hour at the end. So you get 2 hours instead of 1. Okay. Platinum people are like, okay, I want the training, I want the 2-hour Q&A, and I want a private session with Coach LT. So you get all of those at the platinum price, which is $197. Okay, which is a steal of a deal because my sessions to work with me are $500 per session. Okay, so that's the 5-day challenge starting on August the 4th. Okay, people can still enroll up until the 4th, and then I'm going to close it down because if you try to start on day 2, you're way behind. It's too much. Okay, all right. I am not going to do a 5-day challenge in September. I'm going to skip September and I'm going to go to October. And here's why. On August 26th through the 30th, I'm having my 3rd annual pajama party. I took last year off. I had some personal things going on. So the pajama party is back. This is the 3rd one. The focus is writing. So I'm going to have people come in and talk about how they created a business around their writing. So there will be people who are bloggers, there will be ghostwriters, there will be editors, there will be other book coaches that are my colleagues and they've been in this industry, some of them for longer than me, so you'll hear from them. There are book marketing experts that will be coming into the room to show you how to market your book better. There will be speakers and there will be people who will teach you how to create your own stage. I'm a part of a community where we literally learn how to build our own stages and how to get people to fill the room and how to get sponsors. Okay, this event that I'm putting on the 26th, I have 16 sponsors. And last year and the year before and the year before, I had 0. And I thought, you know what? I want to do this event and I want to elevate it and I want to do it better. So let me see if I can get some sponsors. Every single person that I called, I was like, hey, will you sponsor this event? Hey. Every single person was like, yes, we believe in the event. We believe in you. Let's go. So I was like, okay. So I've hired a whole team to support me so that I don't have to be running these Zoom meetings by myself because this is a lot of work. there's a lot of little moving parts and things that you just don't think about if you're trying to do a whole show by yourself. So I've hired folks to help me with that. So when you come into the room to the pajama party, wear your pajamas. Because even the presenters will be wearing their pajamas. Okay, wear your pajamas. And you can also have your family join. Okay. So right now the tickets are only $7 and that qualifies everybody in your house. So you can have your kids on their own devices and they can log in because it's educational and your kids are gonna learn how to be a ghostwriter because they might want to be a ghostwriter. They're gonna learn how to be a copywriter. They might want to be a copywriter. They don't know. They haven't been exposed to it yet. They're gonna learn how to become a public speaker, how to build a business as an author. I've got a couple of business coaches that are coming in that are going to talk about how to build a business. Because me coming from teaching, I know how to teach all day long, but I didn't know how to create a business. So I had to hire a coach, a business coach. I had to hire a speaking coach. I had to hire a marketing, sales coach, all those different things. I had to hire people to help me with that because those are things that I'm not an expert at. So August 26th to the 30th, it's a 5-day event. It's from 5:30 to 8:30 every night. And it's going to be a lot of fun. Get some silky, cute pajamas and show up ready to take notes and ask questions. The thing that's going to be different from the last summits are we're going to have breakout sessions. So when you hear my friends come into the room and talk about what they do, you're going to be like, oh, hell no, I need to ask this person. And you're going to get an opportunity to go to their table and literally sit down and talk to them. There's going to be built-in time, and it's not going to be like, oh, you got to rush. No, you get to sit and relax and talk. And then when you want to go to the next table, you just pick yourself up and click and go to the next table and you can talk to someone else. It's going to be the most 3D experience that you've ever seen on a Zoom virtual. This is going to be an extravaganza because y'all know I'm doing it big. I go big. So this is going to be so much fun. So that's the pajama party. And then in November, I'm going to be hosting my second writing retreat, and that's going to be in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I just did one in June. It was my first one, and it was phenomenal. So we're going to do one in November, and then the next one is going to be for my birthday, February 7th. We're going to Jamaica, and it's going to be for 7 days. It's going to be amazing. So those are just some of the things that are coming up in the community. You're going to see a ton of posts. You're going to just prepare to get tired of me because I'm going to be promoting, like I do. But that's how you get it done. That's how you sustain yourself as a business owner in 2024. You constantly have to be visible in front of people. I've never had to pay for ads. In 7 years, I think I spent like $100 on ads. It was a waste of my money. So I was like, I'm just going to show up with my big mouth and just talk to people about what I do. And it works. And you see, when you come into my community, you're going to see the same people showing up to all the events all the time. Kyoko's at all the events. Dolores is at all the events. You're going to see new people coming in and out. You're going to see a lot of my clients because I keep calling saying, hey, what can I do to make the experience better? What can I do to serve you more? That's what you have to do. When you're an influencer, when you're an entrepreneur, when you're a teacher, you constantly have to ask for feedback so that you can get better. And then here's the hard part. You actually have to listen. That's the hard part. And you actually have to implement based on that feedback. And it's hard because sometimes you don't want to hear the feedback that you're going to get because it's like, oh, I thought I was doing really good. right? In that area, but I need a little bit of work, and that's why we're here. Okay, so questions about anything that I said, because now it's time to promote yourself. If you have a product to sell, if you have a program that you want to get people enrolled into, whatever's going on in your world, let us know, because we've got about 13 minutes left. And the people who are watching this at home, the majority, when I go live and when I do things, 90% of the people who watch me later. It's always a really small group of people who watch me live. So if you're still hung up about going live because you feel like you're talking to yourself, you are. Like the first couple of years, and Dolores will tell you this, the first few years that I did these classes, it was me on a Friday night with music, dancing, and I was talking to myself. But I was practicing every Friday night. I did it for like 2.5 years. And pretty soon people were like, oh, what is she doing? She's still doing that? Like, what? She's still doing that? And Dolores was there at most of them. And she'd be like, yay, I learned so much. And I'm like, it's the same content. And she's like, still, good job. And I was like, thank you. So tell us what you got going on. Don't be afraid to promote yourself forever. Kyoko.
I gotta go soon to start cooking, but I thought I would promote myself a little bit. And I'm Kyoko Nakano, and I am the author of Still I Teach, which is a memoir about my experiences teaching in the public school system as an elementary educator over the last 20 years and how that has changed so much. So what I'm sharing in the chat is my website, which I've put together, and it has a link to all 3 of my books. My first 2 books are children's books, and they are autobiographical as well. The first is called Shy, and the other is called Brave and Wise, and it's about growing up as a bicultural or biracial individual. And then with the help of Coach LT, I was able to write Still I Teach, and so that is on there as well under AHIP. And just to let you know, I sold 2 copies of Brave and Wise this morning. It was the last day of the writing. I do a meetup writing group, and today was my last day because I'm going back to work next week. So I may be absent from these events for a while because got to get back and make the money. But anyways, I just wanted to share that. Thanks, everyone. And I gotta skip out, but it's been lovely to see you all. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you, Kyoko. Yay. Who's next?
I will share. I have a book that I did a collaboration with LT and a group of other teachers called New Ways of Learning. This book came into play during the pandemic when everyone was going through different changes in their life, losing family members, losing jobs, the whole world being at a standstill and locked inside because of the virus that was going around. We decided to get together as teachers, entrepreneurs, poets, and put together something positive. And that was the book that LT had started. And she ended up so busy and advancing in her career and doing other things that she didn't have time to finish. And one of the reasons was because of the changes everyone was experiencing. we had people dropping in and out of the group and had a hard time coordinating schedules when we can get together. So I decided, this was like a saving grace for me. So I decided, since she had her hands full, that I would take it over. And we ended up finishing the book, and I ended up getting it published, and it became a #1 great seller on Amazon. So this book is not only a multitude of different experiences from different nationalities, backgrounds, and age groups, it also gave you a great overview of the changes that we were all facing during the pandemic. So this is a great read if you guys are interested and want to learn some things about the experiences that others was having, and maybe you were having them as well. I would recommend that you purchase New Ways of Learning in 2020. On the cover, LT, can you pull up the cover, or because I don't want to lose you by maneuvering? If you can pull it up and share the link. On the cover, you will see several different children, and those children were representatives of everyone that was participating, that was a part of the book collaboration. Thank you. So that's why we chose to do the cover that way. I was told by the librarian, and I didn't think about it because I'm a teacher as well. And when I shared it with the principal, he asked me, would you mind if I share this with the staff? This is really awesome. One of our teachers is a author. And I said, sure, no problem. Well, the librarian got a hold of it and she loved it. And she said to me, and I didn't think about it at the time, she said, this is history. This is a part of history. This is something that people can read and want to learn about from years to come. So I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I did, and please share it. If you buy it, share it with your family, your friends. The ultimate goal is to get this book into some of the schools as a part of a curriculum, because there are a lot of life lessons that's in the book that the students can benefit from as well. So thank you for allowing me to share. New Ways of Learning.
All right, the link is in the chat for that book. It's a long link, but here it is. Okay. Okay, so Kyoko promoted her book. We got New Ways of Learning. Okay, if you already have a book and you want to share, drop the link in the chat. If you don't have a book, you want to make an announcement about what your book is about and when do you think it's gonna come out, you can do like a stay tuned, because remember, whoever's listening and watching this, you don't know when they're gonna listen and watch it. So it could be 3 months from now and your book could be out. So if you want to go ahead and talk about it, what you think it's going to be about, you don't have to have a title, but just what you think is going to be in it that's of value to someone else and why they would want to buy it. And we've got about 5 minutes left.
I'm getting kicked out of my spot, but I'm going to share my links.
Yay!
Sorry. I'll see you all.
Okay. I love it. All right. Okay, we've got links in the chat. Nicole has a book on Amazon. Daniel dropped the link to him singing live in front of thousands of people. That's pretty cool. You want to check that out. And then also he put in here his Facebook and Instagram. So make sure you follow each other. Follow each other, stay in touch, post. If you have an aha from tonight, go into the Facebook group and post. Oh, I forgot to show you guys that slide. I got all wrapped up in the sharing. Here we go. Okay, for those of you that are here live and for those of you that are watching this on the replay, please go to my Facebook group, which is Your First Book Club, for people who are just working on their first book. And then for those of you that are working on your second book, then you can join Your Next Book Club and you can promote yourself and drop your book links and you can go live and you can do the things that you need to do to self-promote, because we're self-published authors. And I created the spaces so that we could promote ourselves without being limited or without being punished, because we just want to make book sales, right? And we want to serve and we want to share and add value, but we need a space to get our book sales. So please go into the Facebook group and share your aha from tonight. Sleep on it, think about it. You can do it tomorrow, you can do it next week, but just give everyone encouragement and let them know what you learned tonight and how valuable this space is so that more people can come in and learn. These are all the comments that I've gotten about the writing clinic. It's fun, thought-provoking. Thank you for the opportunity to share my thoughts. Michaela says, I stayed up way too late last night writing after the writing clinic, but it was worth it. These are all the good comments. So just add your comments so that I can have all of these put onto my new website when it comes out in 2025. Okay, these are some of my folks from the original writing clinic back in March. All right, and that's it. That concludes our writing clinic. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your attention and your participation. Have a beautiful evening. Happy reading and happy writing. Bye now. Everybody say bye to the replay, folks. All the folks that are at home watching this later after the fact.
Bye-bye. Have a great evening.
Have a good night.
Bye. Have a good night.